All right, these are my journal entries, okay, for the first, I'm going to start off from day 10, okay? The first 10 days were really, really boring. There's a lot of self-talk there. Just talking to myself about why I'm doing this, reflecting on why I'm doing these things, why it's important to me every day. That's how it starts off, but it slowly builds on to more and more and more. The only thing I will say is that day one started with a complete water only fast, 72 hours. That gave me a good spring and jump, leap forward, okay, to hit this streak. It was a good way to start the streak. I completely quit cold turkey caffeine, sugar, all stimulants, okay? And as the days progressed, I cut out any other stimulants. Even things that like arguing is considered a powerful stimulant. Everything is a fucking stimulant. Anything that feels good in one way or another is going to be a stimulant, okay? Anything that you have resistance to is going to be a good thing, okay? So you want to pursue the things that there's a mental resistance to, like meditating, anything like that. The higher the resistance, the stronger, the stronger, the more you should understand that this thing is good for you, okay? So if you have low resistance to something, it's probably not as good for you as something that you're really, really resisting, okay? Think of laying in bed after you open your eyes and just rolling around, not getting up right away. Think about the feeling you get before you have to sit down for meditation, right? Think about the feeling you get before you have to go for a high intensity cardio session, or whether that's running or whatever your cardio is. Things of that, or before you have to sit down and study or read some boring book that has a ton of valuable information that you need, but you just cannot get yourself to do it. These are all forms of, it's a good compass, you know, to know exactly where you need to go. So cut out the stimulation and follow resistance and attack it as if it's a person. Give it a personality and literally just attack it like viciously. Don't be nice to it. Don't have mercy on it. Anyways, I'm gonna start off at day 10, okay? Because around day 10 I started having more and more. I did a bunch of dopamine fasting before this. That's why. Okay, today I came to the realization that I can make money or achieve whatever goal I actually want if I want it bad enough or become an action taker. These sound like such common sense and nothing revolutionary, right? But under deep analyzation, it's really true. If you work on something hard enough and keep on trucking after the first three or four crushing failures, it's inevitable that it will sooner or later work out. Just get those failures behind you quickly. Like the famous quotes go, fail fast and fail often, right? All the famous entrepreneurs will say this stuff, and just not just entrepreneurs, artists, whoever you read about, right? Then I have a bunch of stuff just about my day, kind of boring stuff for you guys. I bought like 18 courses, online courses that I'm going to start doing related to trading and digital marketing, things of this nature. This plus about 50 books that I bought are all waiting for me, and it makes me a certified information addict. It's time to burn through it all and take action at the same time. Then there's a bunch of other stuff that's not going to be interesting to you guys. Like you guys can see, I highlight the things that are more interesting for you. See, as the days go by, there's more and more highlighting. The first couple of days, it was, you know, barely anything, but like on day 18, it's like 3 pages of nothing but highlights. Okay, whenever you're thinking about procrastinating, ask yourself, what will this cost me? Procrastination is simply the battle between your frontal lobe and your limbic system, okay, the logical and illogical parts of our brain. One thing that helps build your frontal lobe is meditation, right? I always talk about this, but I can't drive this home enough. So also on this day, day 11, I started incorporating 10 minutes of planks, which at first was my biggest record. I think before I would do like 6 minutes, obviously not all at once, like 1 minute here, 1 minute there. I want to incorporate every day because apparently it shocks the nervous system and helps increase mood and mental sharpness. Being in almost 60 hours of fasting, I feel that I'm more sharp and energetic. My weight loss results are really shocking and fast now. The ultimate weapon against vice and bad habits, especially sexual thoughts, is meditating, right? Meditating and exercise. You guys already know this from my other videos. NOFAP is the foundation for becoming an ultra achiever. These are, sometimes I'll sit down and I'll add another entry, and this is after like long, deep thoughts. And if I could put long, deep thoughts into one sentence without having to explain myself, if you can just take my word for it, and just listen to those sentences, you can be sure that you're going to, trust me, achieve a lot. Okay. Um, this morning, this is day 11 still. This morning, I have insane motivation, which I attribute to meditation, fasting, dopamine fasting, and the information I'm soaking up from all the books that I'm reading. Whenever you're slothing around and just being idle, ask yourself, what single action will prepare me towards my biggest goals, right? Um, okay, so today, yes, that's right. Day 11, I noticed real female attraction. One of the most beautiful girls I've seen in a very long time was checking me out. She was beyond gorgeous, and definitely I wasn't tripping. Like, this was crazy, man. Like, um, man, that was crazy. I was walking through the mall, and she was walking in front of me the whole time. But it was a huge mall. It's a brand new mall. It's like really, really big. And I was probably walking from the other end of the mall, and she would turn each way that I was turning because I was leaving the mall, and I'm guessing she was leaving too. I'm going to try to be logical about this. I don't want to make it sound like it's, esoteric or some crazy shit like that. But if she was going every single way that I needed to go. Then she walked out the exit that I needed to walk out. Then she went to the metro station, the nearest one to there, where I was going. Okay, that makes sense. Most people in the mall might be doing this anyways, right? So okay. But then she gets on the train. We go about 6 stops. She gets off at the exact same metro I needed to, right? Then she goes in one direction. That's the same direction I need to go to. Then I'm standing right beside her at the lights, waiting to go across the crosswalk. I was trying to have custody of the eyes. I'm trying to not look at her. She was wearing like a really tight dress. She was really, 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 really good looking. God. When I got out of the metro, there was a guy walking with his girlfriend, and this is so funny. And he like stared at her so hard, right in front of his girlfriend. He was holding hands with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend, like, you should have seen the look on her face. It was like straight out of a movie or something. It looked like she was gonna punch him in the head. But this chick, that's how hot she was. Like, everybody on the train was also looking at her, so she was super hot. Okay, so I'm standing beside her at the lights, and I noticed, like, okay, first she's looking over, but I thought that she's just looking at the traffic coming, right? Then I keep like feeling this, with the corner of your eye, you see somebody staring at you, right? And I just keep telling myself in my brain, like, okay, she's just looking at the traffic coming, right? And then I look over, and she's looking right at me, and she's smiling. It was like the weirdest thing, man. Dude, I'm not trying to like pat myself on the back. I don't think I'm that good looking of a guy or nothing like that. Okay, uh, this is the thing that people always talk about. Okay, and then okay, I look away, and I noticed, like, because she caught me looking at her, she kind of like turned away, and she looked like kind of embarrassed, and I don't know why she would be embarrassed because she was super hot. Anyway, she turned away, and then I kept seeing with the corner of my eye that like 3 or 4 more times she kept looking over at me, and then I looked over again, and she was staring right at me, not at traffic. And then she smiled again, like as if I knew her from school or something, and she was expecting me to come up and talk to her. It was the weirdest thing. I couldn't stop. I talk about it more in my next few days because it had such a strong impression on me. Okay, so we cross the street. She goes into these new condo buildings. I keep walking by, but there's like this alley where you can see there's a bunch of stores underneath the building. And I look back, and she's probably like the equivalent of about a block and a half away because these are really long apartment buildings. And right before I look back, before I would lose sight of her, she stops and turns to see if I'm there. Like, I was one of the only people that could have possibly been there. It was the fucking weirdest thing, and I always have some weird stories like this, but this chick was exceptionally hot. Like, this is one of those super hot, like 10 out of 10s that you rarely will see. Okay, now I totally understand that I could be completely tripping, and might be completely overthinking this, and none of what I'm saying is even remotely true. But if you were there and you've seen it, you would without a doubt say something. Okay, I don't care who you are, how rational or skeptical you are, you would have said something. All right. Anyways, next topic. So yeah, that was day 11. Okay, day 12. I'm having strong urges today, not just to fab, but also for stimulants. I have entered the danger zone. Okay, I'm getting crazy amounts of just need for stimulation, anything, because I'm cutting everything out. I'm going very militantly. I'm like, I have like military like discipline at this point, right? On all stimulants. So you can see my body does not like that at all, and it's trying to find something. Okay, and then I wrote a bunch of stuff I wrote. Then I write, if I relapse, I am to be punished badly. I don't want to see this. I'm excited to get to 90 days again. I made a promise to myself, to the universe, that if I fuck up, to punish me badly. The last thing I need right now is bad luck, okay? Um, okay, so with regards to time, I kind of talked about this like yesterday. Time is worth more than money. Um, you can also save time. You can also invest time. Start thinking in terms. It can be a real game changer for you. This is all from the book Essentialism. Okay, I just meditated and the urges were getting really, really bad. And now, wow, in big letters, wow. Urges are gone and I'm feeling like $1,000,000. So I guess it's like a euphoric feeling I'm feeling. This is the ultimate success hack on keeping a NoFap streak going. So I'm talking about meditation when you're getting those urges, if you can get yourself to do it. But I noticed that the resistance is extra strong when I have urges, right? Which makes sense, of course. And I dive deeper into this in the next few days. Okay, so I have to stop this video because I know it's gonna be too long for you guys.